Yo, John Benderr, here to quickly discuss and go over the new features and functions of the Properloop update. The first thing you will notice, I am in disco skin, and all of my colors are correct. The only problem with this is, if we mid-set decide we want to change our skin, and then we go back to disco, all of my colors are goofed up again. All you have to do is click the Properloop logo, and it reinitializes all your colors. There was a small bug with the effects pop-out. When you initially loaded the device, it wasn't actually on Effects 1. You'd be clicking around here and nothing would be happening. Well, that's been fixed. With your sampler loop settings, you now have this new number box here. Initial value is set to 5. This is a attack release envelope, not just for the overall loop, but when the loop actually triggers via the sequencer. To demonstrate this, we'll set this to 0 to turn it off, and we'll press play here. You can hear that's a little rough around the edges. As we raise this number up, it smooths out that clicking. Now, some sounds you might use might be uncooperative. You might still get some clicking. It's just the nature, especially really busy or distorted type loops, you might have some problems. I've actually found it's best to set this to 0. You can also raise this all the way to 50 milliseconds, but you might start to notice some bleed through with that extra long release time. Go to a Properloop here where I have a bunch of loops loaded already. You'll notice I actually got rid of the song mode and we now have this clips mode. What this does is it allows you to quickly create trigger MIDI clips to trigger your sequences, and then you can also do other cool stuff like process the audio. So if we're messing around with sequence 3 here, and we go to clips, you can see our target sequence is already 3. You can of course adjust that to whatever sequence you want. You can then set the bar length for what you want the MIDI clip to be in length, and then you can select whatever clip slot you want to write to. We'll go ahead and write this, and you can see it even labels the clip for you as sequence 3. I also spent a lot of time making sure that these MIDI triggers worked very well and very fluidly. As you can see here, I have a slightly more advanced sequence written up in a MIDI clip. And we'll go ahead and press play on that. No offs actually equal the kill. So you can insert silences into your sequences. And of course, what's really cool about this is you can then freeze the track and then you can take these clips and copy them, paste them to audio, and you will see you get the actual process audio from Properloop. So it's very useful in a production setting. You can also use these MIDI clips in your arrangements, and when you go to export audio at the end of your session, it will process everything that Properloop has done. In the sequencers, you now have a choice of 1/64th note step length. This was a user request that was easy to implement, so I went ahead and did that. In the random all section, you can now choose step lengths to include and exclude in your randomization. So if you only choose 1/16th and 1/8, when you go to randomize this, it will only randomize every sequence with those two step lengths. Last but not least, we have a Store Seeks button. This, before you save your live set or before you save a preset of Properloop, you'll want to click this. This will ensure that all of your sequencer data, including target loops, target effects, direction, and your sequence, will all save with your live set, and everything will reinstantiate perfectly when you go to load your live set or when you go to load the preset. So that about wraps it up for the update. Some of these were requested by users. Some of it were just performance improvements that I came across that I was able to figure out and get working. So I hope you guys enjoy the device. I hope you've been enjoying the device. This should make things a lot better and a lot more fun to play with. So possibly in the future we could see some more updates, but for now that'll be it. Thank you.